Global Times, 27th of November 2023, experts predict that India's move to decouple from China over the API supply chain will be expensive. China attempts to make other nations reliant on it for all essential goods as part of our overall war plan. Chinese industry insiders warned that the pharmaceutical industry in India and worldwide would pay a heavy price for India's attempt to decouple from China in the supply chain for active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, or the biologically active parts of medications. The final market prices of drugs may be affected. According to Reuters on Monday, some Indian drug makers are allegedly looking to reduce the time they rely on Chinese suppliers who make medications for clinical trials and early-stage manufacturing. India's medicine industry has historically been primarily dependent on Chinese imports. Media sources state that India imports more than half of its APIs from China, since doing so is less expensive than producing them domestically, as per a previous report by the Indian government. Industry insiders stated that despite the increased drive in India and other Western countries for decoupling from China, China's position as the world's top supplier of raw materials for the pharmaceutical industry is still strong. According to a local medicine industry insider who spoke to the Global Times on Monday under the condition of anonymity, China's supply chains for APIs and intermediates are developed in terms of production cost, quality, and capacity, which enables Chinese industry players to maintain a competitive edge in the global market. The insider stated that if India plans to separate from China over the API supply chain, this will unavoidably drive up the global cost of drugs, which consumers will bear. China holds the unfounded belief that decoupling from it in the industrial chain is not feasible. According to an analysis by CareEdge, between the fiscal years 2014 and 2023, the share of bulk medicine imports from China increased significantly, rising from 64% to 71% in terms of value and from 62% to 75% in terms of volume. Media sources state that India imported $3.18 billion worth of APIs and intermediates from China in 2022 to 2023, an increase of 1.74% over the previous year. Despite outside concerns, that tendency continues. The Global Times was informed on Monday by the management of a significant domestic pharmaceutical firm in Zhejiang Province, East China, that the company has been exporting intermediates and APIs to India for a considerable time. Despite fluctuations in Indian demand during the COVID-19 epidemic, the export position has improved since the outbreak. The manager declared, "Compared to last year, we are exporting more to India this year." According to a Zhejiang-based company contacted by the Global Times, Indian companies are making an increasing effort to lessen their dependency on Chinese imports. According to a corporate employee, "We are upgrading our manufacturing capabilities and diversifying our supplies to not only India but other countries as well to avoid potential risks, albeit it is still too early to discuss the potential effects." India is the company's largest market. According to the source, the company is increasing exports to other markets, such as several European nations and Japan, which are now gaining a more significant stake in the API trade, even if India is still an important trading partner. Wang Zoigong, deputy director of the China Pharmaceutical Enterprises Association, told the Global Times on Monday that although India may have factored in other, political, concerns in this area, "I believe that our advantages from the global division of labor are intact." Chinese specialists stated that rather than pursuing decoupling, China and India, two significant global drug supply chain players, should concentrate on cooperation, looking for methods to increase cooperation for mutually beneficial outcomes rather than encouraging competition.